everyone, it's me, Krystina Maria. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a long while since I uploaded here, and I know you're probably sick of me saying that because, I mean, every time I film something, I'm always saying that it's been a while since I've been here. It's been a while since I uploaded a video, done a video whatsoever, but yeah, here I am. And hey, since we're in December and we're at the end of 2021, I was thinking, you know what? I want to roast some makeup brands that came out this year. Let's do it. Let's roast some products. Let's roast some eyeshadows and lipsticks or new brands or whatsoever. I have to say, the year 2021 in the beauty world, what in the capitalist of nostalgia shit is this? Because literally it's just full of nostalgia-ness, which, don't get me wrong, I love things nostalgia that resonates my childhood and my early teen years, like things from the 2000s that resonate things when I was like in high school and things in the 90s with my childhood. But you know, certain things I prefer keeping it in the past and not this year. And not just that, like also too, a lot of brands were doing a bunch of collabs. I mean a lot of brands were doing collabs, which is kind of questionable sometimes because you're just like wondering, like, what brand are you since you're doing all these collabs with so many people and company? It's like, what kind of brand are you? Are you a brand or are you just a merch? Everyone was confused when this came out, and it's MAC Cosmetics with The Sims. I mean, you had two different communities confused. You got the people in the beauty community along with the sim community. And I am both. So when I saw this came out, I was like, what is this? What is this palette? The shades in this 9-pan palette looks really ashy than the skin tones in The Sims 4. The only thing interesting is the blue packaging that has the Sim logo, but let's be real, it's lazy. It's lazy design. None of these colors or names resonate with the game at all. And you know the most messed up part, like the most scandalous part about this boring ass palette? This palette already exists. Back in 2017, this palette came out as a Solar Glow Time palette. And it's the same palette, just repackaged. I just don't, this is lazy, this is sad. Yet the Sim game is not perfect compared to Sims 2 and The Sims 3, but do they deserve this? No, they don't deserve this. So this was just like, I don't know anymore. Next one is another collab, and it's Urban Decay with Prince. Well, you know, Prince been gone for a long time. Basically, this is from his estate that gave Urban Decay the permission to do this collab, which to me it's a bit iffy since, you know, Prince is a very private person. When I saw this, I was just like, why does this not feel right? Like, this feels not right along way back in the day when they did the Basquiat collab, which is a bit also kind of iffy in my opinion. And I'm disappointed because not a shade or a lipstick or a blush called Purple Rain. Like, what is this? I mean, honestly, the collection as a whole is pretty. I think it's beautiful, like the whole PR box with the two palettes. I mean, it's not bad, but since, you know, we know how Prince is, you know, when he was alive, I don't think he really wants his stuff to be sold, especially in makeup. Like, I don't think that's what he wants to do. But other than that, it does kind of make sense because, you know, if you know Prince, he's very androgynous with his makeup and style, you know, as a performer, as an artist. You know, it's very known of his, you know, look, very feminine, very gender fluid. Not to disrespect Harry Styles, but people are trying to act like Harry Styles is something innovative new for men. It's like, you know, people like Prince and Bowie exist way before him. I mean, people have good intentions of like selling out someone's deceased in makeup. I don't know, it's just a bit iffy when I see that, but it is a nice collab. I'm just a bit disappointed because I feel like it's missing something. Like, the packaging is beautiful in my opinion. It's very gorgeous, the packaging and the collection as a whole, but I don't know, did it like perform well? Like, I don't know, did anyone enjoy it? Like, right, like, oh my gosh, like the palettes are amazing. But also too, like, why I don't see the shade Purple Rain? Like, give me Purple Rain. That was a total miss out in my opinion. Another Naked palette came out this year is a Naked Cyber. And honestly, of course, Y2K is coming out. Like, I mean, was it like in the 2010s that everyone was like into like 90s stuff? The 2000s are like popping in whatsoever. I just can't believe that 2000s are like pretty much 21 and 20 years ago. Like, I just don't like that. Like, the last time I think of 2000, I was like, oh, I was in high school, I was in college, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm old. The packaging's pretty. I like the packaging. Like, part of me was like, maybe this will be like my first purchase of Urban Decay because I don't own nothing of Urban Decay. It's been one of those brands I like wanted to try, but I always like held back because the stuff they come out, it's just like, I don't know the hype of this brand because so far I'm not impressed. This palette, I like the concept. I love the packaging. I think Urban Decay with the Naked palettes, they always do like nice packaging, but when they come with the shadows and the color story, they just fall flat, like they failed. Looking at all these, the shade rates, who is this for? Because honestly, this is not for a lot of people. That's kind of disappointing. Like, this is not inclusive. Only people like my complexion, lighter coat, literally wear this. Like, no one darker than me and deeper, that's not gonna work on anyone. Kind of disappointing. It doesn't include people, which pretty much the 2000 as a whole was like that. Like, if you think about it, like, we're more accepting and open and have more diversity and inclusivity nowadays compared to then it was like, if you're either like skinny, white, and blonde, everything was for you back then. I'm just saying. So this literally, yeah, it screams out the 2000s a bit, and it should probably stay in the 2000s because this doesn't work for anyone. It's disappointing. Now another collab from Urban Decay, and it's the Urban Decay X Marvel Studios Eternals collection or vault, because it came with the palette and the highlighters and these liners, and I did not heard anything great about the damn palettes. Was the movie great? I feel like it was very divided. I think there's some people liked it and some just didn't like it or care for it. The palette shape is very dated. I don't know if that's true or not. It is very bulky, so it is screaming early 2010s whenever Decay collabed like Alice in Wonderland, and they did their bulky ass palette. The color stories are a bit bland. Yeah, there's a couple pop of colors here and there, but it's not like oh my god, I need this palette, oh my gosh. Like, I don't even think Marvel fans are even caring about the palette. They're probably like, what is this? Do we need this? No. And then Marvel people that likes comic books and movies, that likes makeup, probably like, I don't want this. Like, this just fell flat along with the 2019 Game of Thrones collection, along with the last season. Keep forgetting that Hot Topic has a makeup line. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I haven't been shopping or in a Hot Topic for a couple of years now. Like, it is not the same store I was when I was young. It's like a Disney store for adults. I don't like it. I mean, I said it shouldn't be, but I just wish they have most of their old school Hot Topic, goth, punk, emo style. They mostly focus on that, but no, it's just a Disney store for adults. And here they did a collab with Blockbuster. If you're a 90s kid or 90s baby, you probably remember Blockbuster, going there with your family or friends every night, renting a movie or video game, and then running back, you know, before getting late fees. Like, don't miss that. I don't know, like, I like the packaging, the concept. The eyeshadow, I don't know, it's a bit questionable in my opinion. I mean, of course, I don't expect much because Blockbuster, they're probably like doing it like the whole cover case, like, you know, the blue, the black, the yellow from the logo. But when you have these other colors, a bit like, what is this? And also to like Hot Topic makeup, the quality is probably not great. I know nostalgia purposes, people are gonna like buy it, but you're gonna like, no. I mean, it could have done better. I mean, it could just maybe give us some shade of blue, shade of orange, whatsoever, because you're giving us like these teal color and red, and I'm like, where is that from? I don't get it. I mean, yeah, nostalgic purposes, that's why it's there, but at the same time, I'm like, did we need it? No. This is a shady company collabing with another shady company from my childhood, and it's Morphe with Lisa Frank. Lisa fucking Frank. Like, if you're like my age, you're, like I said, a 90s kid, because I don't think 90s babies know much about Lisa Frank unless maybe you have like an older sibling that had Lisa Frank stuff. I remember back in my day, I had the Lisa Frank folders and notebooks. I probably have like the little oh, I forgot what you call it, put your school materials like scissors and pencils and stuff in español se dice cartuchera. I forgot how you say it in English right now. I remember having that, maybe the pencils too, stickers especially. Never had a book bag. I always wanted a Lisa Frank book bag, but never had it. When I saw this, I was like, very interesting, because they scammed people a couple of years ago, because they were like, oh, we're gonna Kickstarter a makeup line and we need money, so donate so we could start this brand. Never happened. People lost money but never got makeup. And then seeing this, it's like, I'm not surprised. I have to say the packaging is really cute. Like, it's hitting the 7-8-year-old me. Like, it is adorable, but it's really massive, which I'm not surprised. Morphe likes to put out big ass palettes. I'm not into big ass palettes. Like, the biggest one I could probably have of shadows is probably like 18, and that's it. But even with 18 eyeshadows on a palette, I'm very picky. I don't like big palettes. It's cute, but I don't know. People were probably like very confused about it, because it's like, wait a minute, this brand literally scammed us a lot of people a couple years back, and they're teaming up with Morphe, and they have a brand, and they have a collab, and they have palettes and brushes and the little case. Oh my gosh, it's so cute, but what the heck? Like another freaking collab. Honestly, this game probably been out since the 80s, maybe the 70s. I don't know. I'm an 80s baby, by the way, the late 80s baby. But this is NYX Cosmetics with their Terratress collab, and I'm sorry, I already talked smack about Morphe's big palette, but this is like when the holidays are coming and brands like e.l.f. and Makeup Revolution, which I hope they don't do that anymore, and they end up like pulling out their 100 shadow palette, which is like crap. And this is a nightmare. This is huge. Like, they have this big ass Tetris palette and the colors don't resonate with the game. Like, literally, like, I mean, I'm sorry, if you're gonna collab with a game, a very iconic nostalgia game, people probably still playing their cell phones maybe at least, and it's very colorful. Like, the colors should be resonate that in the palette. So what is all this browns and nudes and all these? It's a mess. This palette looks like a nightmare. Did this sell? Did people brought this? Like, no. And they have like their eyeliners and and a little lip kit with the gloss and a lip liner. I don't know what NYX was I'm sorry, like, what in the capitalistic bullshit these brands were doing? Like, what they were fooling us. I get a lot of us was very depressed and still are depressed because we're still in a pandemic, but brands can't be thinking like, let's hit the nostalgic spot for people. No, I know I'm talking smack about other collabs, but this is the worst I've seen so far. Next is Huda Beauty, and she had the Rose Quartz palette. The packaging is pretty. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think they prefer like her earlier days, the cardboard one. I think it was cardboard. I like the aesthetic of the palette. I like the clear plastic thingy. It's giving me, you know, early 2000s, you know, Y2K vibes. I like it. But here's the thing about this palette. What is that? What is that little that shadow in the middle with the little bally things? Why we're going back to that? People didn't like that the other palette when you came out with your naughty nude palette. No one liked it. That people were making fun of it, saying it's like a freaking disease or something. Like, it looks disgusting. Why have, please, I don't want brands doing this. Why you have that? It looks disgusting. Ew. So the next brand I'm gonna talk about, it's a favorite of mine. Like, it's one of the brands that if anyone gave me money, like, here's $1,000 for one makeup brand you'll be used forever, it would be Milk Makeup. But unfortunately, this thing that came out, I don't like it. It's their color chalk. I get they were trying to be sustainable with certain products, but the word chalk scares me as a whole. I had to put that on my eye. I mean, I get it. It just looks like a lot of work. I mean, you gotta like rip it out, and then if you want wet it, then apply it with your fingers or a brush. Some people put it straight on their lid, which literally terrifies me because it's like a chalk, but makeup for the eye. No. This is KVD. Please do not ask me how to pronounce what is KVD. They changed the name so much now that I'm just like, stupid name. Just literally, Kendall, just let the brand die down. They're still like pushing out new products of KVD, and it still has the original font. It still says Kat Von D. So I'm just like, you know, people are trying to go back and support this brand since the original owner no longer owns the brand, but still has some way, has ties with it, which is like, that's why I don't step in and be like, oh, what's new with them? Because it's like the same thing. They came out with this, I'm sorry, this is very greenwashing. Their Planet Fanatic fully recyclable wet and dry eyeshadow palette. This thing is so boring. What is these color stories plus the packaging? For you think like, okay, it's Planet, okay, sustainable. It'll be like a cardboard packaging. No, it's this plastic, and it has like a clear top with stars. It just looks like a palette that probably never came out when Kat Von D was still a Kat Von D, and then now Kendall's like, oh, let's bring it out and then rename it because it looks cheap. It looks cheaper than the eyeshadow palettes you see in drugstores. And that's saying a lot. I don't want to talk about this brand. I'm like trying my best not to talk about brands like Makeup Revolution or ColourPop or Hip Hop, because they're like the ones that seem they're always in competition. Who's gonna sell out and push out the most products and collabs. So this is Makeup Revolution with Bratz. When Bratz came out, I was already too old for toys. I was like junior high and already in high school, but I have younger sisters that love the Bratz, and the Bratz are awesome. They're iconic with their styles. I love them. My favorite was Jade. Jade was my favorite Brat doll. But other than that, the packaging is weird. The pan size is weird. What is these weird ass shapes? And then they had the huge palette, and in the middle they had these big ass circle pan size. Who's this for? What is this? No, this is so bad. I don't even think people that grew up playing Bratz wants this. This is bad, and this is worse. This is a worse collection along with that live action movie they had. It's like disrespectful for dolls that know that we have a passion for fashion. This ain't it. This ain't it. Next is Harry Styles. I mean, like I said earlier about Prince, Harry Styles literally I would say in the generation for young millennials and older and young Gen Z, he is like their Bowie, their Prince, I would say. Like, he is very androgyny. Like, everyone loves Harry Styles. Like, not just his music, his style, his hair, and the way he dressed. I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't have a line called House of Styles. Like, he needs a house called House of Styles. Come on, Harry. I know you can do it. But he's coming out with I thought it was a nail polish line, but it's pretty much nail polish and skincare. It's called Pleasing. I like the name, though. The nail polish stuff, I think it's cute. I like the little design of it. I like it. The colors are okay. The black or dark blue is got my interest, but I think it's like $20. I'm sorry, I use drugstore nail polish, and you can tell this one already chipped. I use drugstore nail polish. The more expensive drugstore nail polish I use is China Glaze. It's like $7 or $8 at a CVS, and that's more expensive I could go, and yet they still give me the same thing with chippy nails. Like, my nails don't last long, so I would not spend $25 on a nail polish or more on the whole thing. But the color story is nice. To me, it makes sense. Like, I mean, does anyone remember when he was on SNL and he had painted nails? Like, which was like, oh wow, cool. I didn't notice that, but wow, nice. He has like an under eye and lip serum. Like, one is like for the eye, and the other part is like double-ended. Like, one's for the eye, one's for the lip, which is kind of like, I'm confused. And another one's like a serum, I think, with little balls in it. Like, when you like, I guess, press the little pump, like a liquid comes up, whatever. But it's kind of like weird, in my opinion. This beret is too big for me. I don't be wearing it because I don't like how my hair looks. Good for him. I hope it's success. But I just feel like it's just all over the place. You have nail polish and then skincare. You gotta pick one. I think go for the nail polish, and if that successfully goes well, then maybe push out a skincare line. Guess who else? I'm not surprised, but also very surprised. Machine Gun Kelly came off a nail polish line. Why? We don't need you.
Doesn't even go here.
Does he like makeup? Is he into it or something? Or maybe because his music career is not going up. He left the hip-hop career because Eminem ended, and then he went to the alternative rock scene and literally tried to have an issue with Slipknot, and Corey Taylor literally almost end Machine Gun Kelly career. So maybe he wants to try makeup. Do we need any more problematic, toxic men in the beauty community or in the makeup industry? No, we don't. So this is something I don't want. I don't want it. Nobody wants it. I'm very confused. Jeffree Star! I really thought maybe we let him in 2020, but apparently we did not. And he has this collection, and it's called Pricked Eyeshadow Palette. Or, yeah, it's, what is this? What, it's not is it a palette or is it a bag? It looks like a bag. It is a bag as a palette. I get confused when people still support him, when it's just right there that he's just a horrible human. This is like probably the worst thing he ever released in his makeup line. Like, literally the packaging just screams out, graphic design is my passion. I'm a graphic designer, and I don't like this. And it's the Mini Star Ranch palette and skull mirror. Like, he still push out these freaking mirrors. People still buy them. I cringe when I see like people that still support him, and then you see their makeup room and it's like full of his palettes and his mirrors. I'm like, do you need all that mirror? The palette looks like a very cheap Photoshop graphic, the very cheapy design, not even last minute cheap design, it's just very bad. And it's like all pink, and yet the palette is like this nude and blue and teal. Where's the pink? Like, this would have been an interesting palette if you put like your pink in it. Next is ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Is anyone else kind of sick and questionable why Anastasia has her daughter Norvina running her company to the ground? Because there's another Norvina Pro Pigment palette, and it's 5. Honestly, my brain, I thought maybe like 3, and that wasn't. No, there's 5. And this one, it's like all purple, like very mauve-y, light pastel, neon purples, and bunch of nudes. Who needs this? Nobody needs this. If you got the other Norvina Pro palettes, which are freaking massive, like this one, like very expensive compared to the other palettes, you don't need this one. I'm sorry. This is like a very oversized version of her first palette with Anastasia. If you have that, you don't need this palette. And they still sell that one. Buy that one instead. You don't need this massive, ginormous palette from Norvina. This is Makeup Revolution with a Christmas collection collab with the movie Elf. It's a lot. I know no one needs this. No one needs this. Makeup Revolution, every time they do collabs, they have to do like not just one palette, but a whole bunch of other ones. Like, no one needs all that other palettes. Like, what is this? And that big one does not scream Elf. Like, what is that color story? It doesn't scream Christmas, doesn't scream Elf. Why is it even that big? Remember I mentioned about KVD, about the whole greenwashing with their Planet Fanatic palette? Well, Makeup Revolution has another branch of their own, another makeup line, and it's called Planet Revolution. This is like more sustainable and recycle, which I like the concept and idea. I think brands should change that, be more sustainable, have more recyclable options, and clean, whatever the hell clean ingredients even means. Like, I think even clean ingredients also are chemicals. What is the point having this collection when you could just make the whole line as a whole like this, sustainable and going green? You don't need a makeup line to do that. But then again, it's Makeup Revolution. Like, they're known to be constantly pushing things and throwing out new products in our face, along with ColourPop. Here it is, do it again. I don't want to talk about this again. Jeffree Star. Oh my gosh, he came out with proof mascara. Jeffree Star's fans, unfortunately, are like very young people. I would say the youngest is probably like 12. And so it's very confusing when he does stuff like this. Like, this looks like a freaking sex toy, like a dominatrix, like whippy toy. It has a little, oh my god, it looks like a whip. Who wants this? Oh my god, this looks tacky. This is tacky. I forget Clinique's also a makeup brand. I think they're a skincare brand, but I'm like, they do makeup? What? So they have this thing called Indulge Color Palette. Where's the color, Clinique? There's no color. There's no color in this in this eyeshadow palette. This palette could go along with the MAC Sims one. How crappy. Oh my god, I hate it here. Speaking of the Sims collection with MAC came out with a holiday collection, and the other one I want to talk about the holiday collection is their eyeshadow palette. It's this huge, massive, round, vinyl size looking eyeshadow palette. Oh my gosh, what is this? Value is $130 value, and it's $75 US. Who is buying this? I'm sorry, who is buying this? I don't know. I'm looking at Clinique and MAC, and I'm like, why is their round palette reminds me of the Urban Decay 2018 Element eyeshadow palette, which, by the way, I think that palette's very pretty, but it's giving me that, but not in a good way. Next is Hourglass with their stupidity ridiculousness with their curated palettes. You could either create like a single, a quad, or a 5-pan palette. For the one eyeshadow, you could pay $39. $99 for the quad. $162 for the 5-pan shadow. Who in the world is going to spend that much money on a one shadow, a quad, or a 5-pan palette from Hourglass? are your shadows even that worth it? Like that, I mean, I'm sorry, but if I'm spending that much money on a shadow, like you better be working with my oily eyelids, while I'm not wearing no primer, like long lasting ultra pigment, like you work for every different eyelids, like dry, oily, combination, light skin, dark skin. Like, that thing better be worth it, but what a fucking joke. Now I'm talking about Gucci, not the movie. I haven't seen the movie, I'm so mad. Their Cushion SPF foundation. Why are 6 shades of vanilla? I don't know, I have an issue when luxury brands likes to have this exclusivity. I don't want to say racism, but it is very questionable when brands only cater to a lighter skin audience and no one that's in the medium and deep and dark. I've got this shade range and I'm just like, I could literally wear 2 or 3 of those cushions. And then we have like one deep tan shade. What the heck? It just looks like when white people overly tan themselves. That's their shade. I feel like I'm gonna like have very makeup fatigue when I talk about these things, but I'm gonna make it quick. And it's Hip Dot. I don't know much about Hip Dot as a brand per se, but I know they do collab with a lot of things and people, and it's kind of questionable. Like they had a SpongeBob collab. I remember Kesha came up with a makeup line, but actually it was like Hip Dot, so that was very confusing. And then I know My Chemical Romance had a collection with them. They collab with Hasbro and they did a Play-Doh, a Ouija, and a Monopoly palette. I mean, the Play-Doh one, I mean, first of all, should it be that big? No. The Monopoly one takes a lot of freaking space. That's just wasteful as hell. In my opinion, it's just wasteful. The Play-Doh one should have been mini because the colors are just not there for Play-Doh. The Ouija one, I kind of like it, but honestly, I don't play with that, so I don't know why that's even makeup in my opinion. Why is it even a board game still? I don't know. I mean, aesthetically, I like it, but as a board game to play with it, no, I don't play with stuff like that. I'm sorry, I don't. Another brand that gives me makeup fatigue, and it's ColourPop. They did a Nightmare Before Christmas collection. I mean, she's cute, but also not really needed. I mean, no. I mean, it's cute aesthetically. Like, I love Nightmare Before Christmas. The palette is very, very disappointing. The lipstick is cute. I would say the lipstick's nice. The little jelly makeup thing, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know. I don't follow ColourPop that much anymore. Palette. And then the Lizzie McGuire palette, which to me is very shady. I'm gonna say this. It's very shady that Disney decided to give ColourPop rights to do a Lizzie McGuire collection after Disney Plus was like, we're not gonna do the reboot because you guys want to make it more adulty. It's pretty shady that Disney was like, we're gonna do Lizzie McGuire collection. I wonder, did Hilary Duff got a collection? Did she got the PR package of this? I don't know. Would that be shady if they gave her that? Or would it be shady if they didn't? I don't know. But like, questionable. And then the palette looks similar like the Sailor Moon one that came out last year.
They're the same picture.
Celebrity makeup that came out this year. Rem Beauty by Ariana Grande. This is very confusing. I mean, yeah, I know like celebrities wear makeup, stuff like that. But I don't think with Ariana Grande you think like makeup. A lot of people are making fun of it because they're saying the packaging looks like adult Claire's makeup. Picture doesn't help, and again, a lot of things sometimes you have to see things in person and touch it physically. Other than that, it is a very questionable line. But the lipstick though, the little lipstick, it's just giving me like an astronaut because it has like a little clear little window. You see like the bullet. It just looks so cute. It looks like a space helmet thing. I mean, I guess she's into it. I think the whole vibe is like very Ariana Grande, so it does fit her aesthetically, which is great, which is nice. I think brand, if you're gonna make a brand, it should reflect to you, not like, what is this? Like, I don't want it, I don't need it. Who? But the lipstick, in my opinion, I'm kind of curious, especially that dark color. I'm like, I want it, but I don't want it. Another ColourPop, and it's Animal Crossing. Oh my gosh, capitalism so much. Capitalism much into your ColourPop. I'm not surprised. I would say the fast fashion of the makeup community is ColourPop, Hip Dot, and Makeup Revolution. But this is just capitalism. Like literally, you're literally taking people's vulnerability but giving us an Animal Crossing collection. I was kind of interested. I was like, interested. But I'm like, I feel like I've seen these before. I've seen the blushes in all their collections already. The eyeshadows, same in all their other collections, right? That's the problem to me when you push out so much product, everything looks the same. So I think brands need to like stop. Tarte. Oh my gosh. Tarte. Oh my gosh, Tarte came out with their Full Bloom Amazonia Clay palette. They already have a mini version of this palette. Why give us a Morphe size humongous palette of nudes? Nobody needs this. Nobody needs this. If you like the colors in it, buy the little one. It's still available. You don't need this. Not this ginormous bullshit. Especially bullshit of nudes. Last, but unfortunately it's the last thing, because I'm not gonna say last but not least, because nothing great about this one. They've literally made headlines on the news online because how stupid this came out. Like, really, consumers are not dumb. Consumers nowadays are being really smart. It's Chanel with their advent calendar that costs $825. You get stickers and bracelets for this $825 advent calendar. You want to buy something from Chanel? Don't spend $825. Buy yourself a Chanel perfume, maybe a lipstick or two. And if you're someone that has money to buy Chanel, this advent calendar is not it, because this thing is stealing your money. It's a waste of money. It is ridiculous. Luxury brands should feel luxury and rich and expensive, and this is just literally just stealing your money. It's really the equivalent of you're spending the money on a name and not the quality of the product. And it's disgusting that Chanel thought it was a good idea to sell this out as a holiday collection. It is disgusting. That advent calendar should have like perfumes of all sizes, full size, minis, travel size, sample size, lipsticks, little mini makeup things from Chanel, not a cheap little string bracelet and stickers. No. Anyways, that's it, people. That is my makeup roast of 2021. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a really awkward and long time since I filmed a video, so sorry this video has been long, but I hope you enjoy. If you like any of these products, which is understandable, fine. You know, makeup is preference. You know, things that I like, people probably won't like, or vice versa. So we're just here to talk about makeup, either good or the bad or the ugly. In this case, I was just literally talking smack about how crappy these makeup releases that came out this year. So anyways, take care of yourself, love yourself, take care of others, love others, be kind to each other too. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, also Depot. I sell things on Depot. You're welcome to, if you want to buy things secondhand, check out my Depot account. I made a TikTok account too. Yeah, I don't know why, but here it is too if you're interested to follow, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.